And I will be discussing the outdoor clothing company Patagonia for my human resource management project. What initially, really why I decided to choose this company is I am familiar not only with their clothing, but also they are extremely well known in the HR, the human resource management world, as being one of the best companies to work for. So I really wanted to kind of dive into that. I kind of knew the basics, and then I'll also discuss the company overall, the size, their competitive advantage, as well as their competition. So what really this company is their mission, and their mission statement is to build the best product to cause no unnecessary harm, use business to inspire and implement solutions to the environmental crisis. So the environment and is a huge part of this company, and that's what they really revolve around, is treating your employees and the environment right. It's founded by Yvon Chouinard. The Patagonia company was founded in 1973, but Yvon Chouinard actually began rock climbing as a young boy and fell in love with the sport. So he picked up blacksmithing actually, to teach himself how to make this equipment. And the only education he had prior to this was his high school education, and he kind of, was looking more at auto mechanics. So he partnered with Tom Frost to create this Chouinard equipment. But what they were finding is that their equipment was harming the rocks and hurting the environment. So that kind of started their whole initial, treat what they love as being outdoors. They want to turn around and make sure that they're doing, using equipment and doing the best that they can to, follow that path. So Yvon Chouinard was out rock climbing with friends, and he had a rugby shirt on, and the collar and the bright colors, he had all of his friends asking where he got that, and the collars helped with like wind resistance, and everything. So they kind of turned their thought into getting into the clothing market. So they wanted to change their name from Chouinard Equipment because they didn't want it to just be focused mainly on just rock climbing, which was their fears that they wouldn't be able to expand off of that. So they came up with the name Patagonia. That the meaning is it kind of reflects far-off lands and adventurous places, as well as this can be pronounced the same in all languages. So they decided to switch from Chouinard Equipment to Patagonia, and eventually in 1973 began the company, and switched from rock climbing equipment to more of an outdoor clothing line. And they wanted to focus on durable equipment, as well as keeping that core of saving the environment in with it as well. So essentially they really kind of began this big green movement and eco-friendly materials before it recently became so popular. So with the company beginning, they started to take off, and they were selling so much and they grew so much that in 1991 actually they had a big recession crisis. Were in a ton of debt, had to pay off. They had to cut costs, dump a lot of their inventory, had to let go of 20% of their staff to be able to make up, and instead of selling out the company. So Chouinard kind of took a different direction on this recession and wanted to do something that most businesses probably wouldn't think of, but he wanted to go in a more sustainable direction. So they actually switched to more expensive and organic cotton in 1996, which was an extremely risky business move when they had just, gone through such financial troubles, to, eventually long term make a better product, more durable, and that was better for the environment. And their thought process behind this was that if they had a really good product, the consumers would spend less money, because they wouldn't have to buy new clothing as often. And it actually ended up working out. Consumers were more willing to pay the extra money, knowing that it was a really good product, and the sustainability aspect just skyrocketed their sales as well, making that they could trust this product, that it'll be durable for a long time, as well as will be good for what these outdoors people enjoy, is the actual environment. So their products are, like I had discussed earlier, they are more of a clothing, outdoor equipment wear. And since that 1996, all of Patagonia's clothing is made out of organic cotton, and they have kept that as well. So they are, very environmentally friendly with all their fabrics. They actually have been working on a new concept where they try and recycle their clothing. They want consumers to send them in or let them know, to keep reducing their economic footprint. So initially, outdoor equipment, or clothing, was very bland. So that's where that rugby shirt came in with the vibrant colors. So their product design is still focused more on the simplicity and the utility versus being so flashy. But that their entire company actually has doubled. They just switched over to a new CEO. Her name is Rose Marsario. And since she has taken over, and this was around the 2013, their company grew drastically even more. So they doubled in size, doubled in sales, doubled in employees. And in 2013, they were making $600 million a year, and had to increase their employees. And they actually work out of 2 locations. So they have their original Ventura, California location, but they also have a warehouse in Reno as well. So their competition is going to be more of the widely known outdoor equipment brands. So North Face is a huge one. The outdoor industry alone has increased drastically since about 2014. So in 2013, trail running was actually the most popular outdoor sport in the U.S. So this outdoor craze is bringing in $4 billion in revenue in 2014. And the athletic category is just still skyrocketing. The sales are expected in 2018 to be over $180 billion. So other companies, athletic companies, are kind of jumping on this bandwagon as well. So with North Face being their largest competitor, very similar in consumers, as well as treating employees and being economically friendly, companies like Nike, Adidas, are trying to kind of get in the same industry as them. And even down to Target and Lululemon is a new, more geared towards women as far as the athletic wear. But with the outdoor industry becoming so large, all of these companies are jumping on as well. They're just being a little more flashy, really using Instagram posts as far as vibrant clothing, colors, more just aesthetically pleasing, which is kind of almost a little different for Patagonia's. They want to be, a good product, and that's their main concern. Where now the marketing end of all these industries are kind of taking that spin and, using it to their advantage. So it's definitely going to be all these new companies want to, not just push the outdoors end of it, but really focus on being outside versus in the outdoors. So even, for the people that live in the city, for going out, even if it's indoors, getting your exercise, or even just walking around the park, basic trails, nothing over the top like climbing a mountain. So they want to fill that gap as well, and get the more smaller market, the more inexperienced outdoors people as well. So they're a competitive advantage. They actually work with other competitors. They've teamed up with North Face. They have this thing that's the cleanest line, so they really want other companies in their industry to follow suit as far as making sure that their products are good for the environment, because that's really, what they enjoy. So they team up with them. They've also teamed up with Walmart a couple of times, as well as making sure that products are good for the earth. So their price is quite a bit, not quite a bit, but they are a little on the higher end, especially when you throw in the Target and the Lululemon end, but they are more durable. They want to focus on having these good products, and you can trust when you're out that they'll be durable. As well as a huge thing that they have done for essentially the beginning is the 1% for the planet. So what this is 1% of their sales they return back into the environment, so whether it is organizations or other companies, so they really, they keep the environment in a huge part of everything that they're doing, which really, for people that are concerned about the environment, especially the millennial generation on, we want to work for a company that is aware, is sustainable, and this become this huge thing. So ignoring it is, but other companies are kind of, jumping on this bandwagon now and trying to change it, where Patagonia, this has been their core, this has been their value since the beginning, and they don't want to veer away from that. So like I said right in the beginning, what attracted me to this company is actually their HR team, so what they are competitive with. So the whole company had began as friends hiring friends. So Yvonne wanted to keep this core of a family feeling, friend atmosphere. So that grew into, treating everyone like family as well. And his big thing is Let My People Serve. He had wrote a book, and that was the title of it. But essentially the theory is having the work-life balance. So letting your employees go out and take time off to not only, use their products and test them, but he goes on to talk about how if you let this surfer go out, they're going to come back not only more excited about surfing, but maybe, have new ideas for products or what they can change with their current products to make it even on the next level. So having that flex time is extremely important. They also do allow a child care program. There's only 7% of all businesses in 2014 do have a child care program in the work. So having this generous vacation plan, up to 5 weeks after 10 years, they have a 401k plan, profit sharing, education reimbursements, products discounts. So all of these things go in as well, as their HR department is not policy driven. It's not your stereotypical, these are the rules and they don't change. It's very, very flexible. They do have to still stay organized, but they're really finding out that it's benefiting their company, and they're getting these return on investments with focusing so much on the HR department. And it shows with their turnover is extremely low, which they get hundreds and hundreds of applications to work for this company that lets you do what you love, take time off to be outdoors and spend time. And they encourage you to bring, your whether it's an organization into the company as well to return that profit sharing concept. What's a little different as well with their human resource department is it's a lot of cross training as far as they cross train so that when these people do go on these vacations, even if they are for long periods of time, there's other teammates or other employees in their department that can pick up that end for them. As well as they do a 3-day new hire orientation. And what this is it's not the actual HR team that's leading these, it's fellow employees. So they're getting more hands-on, not just books, rules, regulations thrown at them. They see how things work. And the new CEO, Rose Marcirio, she she was a businesswoman and came in with kind of that mindset, and she was like, I don't know, this work-life balance. She was extremely business oriented, and she found herself just from being in the environment, as far as not the actual physical outdoor environment, but the work balance, and she could see how important it was. And so she kind of followed suit with that as well. So having her employees show her this turned around into having your other employees train new hires. So what else is also a huge benefit to working there, not only with the child care program, but the 401ks, the profit sharing, like I discussed, as well as they can set their own hours, which is huge, and that goes into that flexibility as let my people serve. But with the child care program as well, the company actually allows 2 months paid personal leave for not only mothers but new fathers, which I think is extremely rare and very I think just overall neat that they see the other side of things and not just what they're supposed to do. As well as they do cover 100% of their employees' health care. So tons and tons of benefits, but like I just want to reiterate that the Let My People Serve, allowing your workers to pursue their passion and have that work-life balance really is what is setting them apart, making people want to come to work, excited about what they do and the products that they sell. Ways that they can improve their competitive advantage. They are a smaller company. They haven't really branched out into, like Nike has, into the Europe, the Latin America, and then they had said the Japanese market. So anything, kind of the Asia area, they haven't really touched. And I think a lot of that has to do with when they started growing back in '91 and saw all these growing pains and had their struggles, that they are more aware of growing too fast, as well as not losing their values over profit, which is something that is very important to them. Other ways as well, I think that they'll need to consider a little bit more is with the Target and the Lululemon and all these other industries jumping in on this new outdoor enthusiasts. So being more aware to that, to the millennial end of things, that I may want to be an outdoorsy person, but I can't get up and go rock climbing every weekend just to be outside and have comfortable, good-looking clothing that does keep me, either warm or cold. So kind of bridging that gap between the extreme enthusiasts and consumers who just genuinely enjoy being outside. Improve competitive advantage in HR was really tough, just because I do really idolize this company. I love how they treat their employees. I love that it is such a huge focus for their core values. So I think that continuing to grow, you're always going to have growing pains as a company, and if they do expand, to not I feel like the larger you get, the easier it is to possibly lose those main values, that main core. So really keeping that focus as far as the expansion and learning that they just need to stick to what matters to them, and everything else will follow pursuit. And I think that just goes to show too, with them switching over their CEO, that the benefits they saw from it, that they are continuing to bring in new people and grow as a company, and that these new people that they bring in aren't necessarily as outdoorsy as some of them are, but they're embracing that lifestyle, they're embracing the work-life balance. So just keeping a focus on their mission statements. Other than that, I really think that they do have a really great core. They are one consistently in the top 100 companies to work for. And I think that that's for a reason, because they are aware of their employees and how to treat them in new ways that they can keep adding benefits into the company. So overall, just to reiterate, Patagonia is a outdoor clothing company for outdoor enthusiasts, but they do need to work on bridging that gap now that outdoor clothing has become so large and is, between like the Instagrams and everything on the social media end, it's really branching out. So to kind of meet them in the middle, be aware of all of your consumers and not just the rock climbing, mountain climbing consumers as well. And to keep taking care of the environment. It's what they do, it's what they love. Continuing to give 1% of their sales, partnering up with other organizations, to really reiterate that, keep thinking of new ways to come up with new ways for the sustainability end of things. But as well as the let my people go surfing idea, the work-life balance, having that flexible time, and just, focusing on your employees, understanding that if they love what they do, they're going to bring that into the company, and all the benefits that go with it, the paid time off, I just think is so amazing, and I think that it shows with the company continuing to grow, profits doubling in such a short amount of time. I believe that Patagonia is not only a great company, I like their clothing, but as well as understanding their main mission and sticking to their core values. I hope that you guys enjoyed it as well. These are my sources. Thank you.